for the millions and millions in attendance. Let's get ready to rumble! Live from somewhere in Canada, it's Terry's GG&G with another video. Not like I haven't put in enough videos so far today. Hello, everybody! Welcome to my messy place. Hope everyone has been doing well. I have been up since 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and as some folks have seen, I have been quite a busy rabbit. With that said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. And I thought again I would hop on and do some live streaming. Excuse me. Do some more live streaming again, just for the simple fact of getting some content out there like I've been promising folks. And well, what the hell, I've only put out 3 videos already. What's a live stream gonna matter? So again, hope everyone's well. Hope everyone has their beverage of choice. My case, I'm back to my trusty mug. Filled with coffee. So with that said, let's get to things. So again, as I was saying, my my music store finally opened up after all this COVID stuff. So I was able to go get a pack of the Ernie Ball Earth Round Extra Lights. They are 10 through 50 gauge. They are what is actually on the Harley Benton Delta Blues acoustic. And on here is the, I'm assuming as what the person said, the original strings. So if you go along, you can see how dark they are. And there's some wearing and age along these strings, so they've obviously been on the instrument ever since it was purchased. So hey Brian S., hope you're well. So you'll have to excuse me because I'm facing this way and not towards my monitors, so I'll keep peering over and looking at chat. I should have the mic preamp up loud enough that you can hear me well. So again, since we're doing a string change and a fretboard cleaning and a fret wire polish, some things that you'll definitely need. Needle nose pliers, more so simply for snipping the thing. Something to cover the fretboard. Of course, a package of strings. a string winder. This one is a Hariba. And also I found at the end they have a nice little nib here to actually pop the pins out. Some form of cloth material. Here's some cork clothy kind of material. Something to polish frets with. Good old Brasso. And something to clean the motherboard with. Yeah, I think it might be time to go back to sleep, folks. To clean and condition the fingerboard, we have I believe it was Will Gelvin of Will's Easing Guitar that gave the recommendation of the Howard Feed and Wax. It is a wood polish and conditioner, and it is a beeswax and orange oil. And I paid $15 Canadian for it at the one downtown paint store, and I've used pretty much to the Howard here of it so far. And what has been my impression of this stuff compared to, say, the lemon oil you get, I'd say it is a little bit nicer, and it's relatively around the same price. So as it says here, Feed and Wax, this unique blend of beeswax, carnauba wax, and orange oil enhances the natural beauty and depth of grain in finished and unfinished woods. Feed and Wax also prevents further drying of the wood and deterioration of the finish. This product is recommended as a follow-up to Howard Restore a Finish to maintain the newly restored finish. Does not contain silicone or linseed oil. Directions: saturate small pad of cloth and wipe on. Let stand for at least 20 minutes and wipe off excess. Polish out with a clean, soft cloth. So, anyways, first things first. Let us take the strings off. So, I must say, have to wonder how old these strings were that were on it. Definitely are quite old. Ah! It won't grip. Just looking at these strings, you can tell how much of a age difference there's been. Brian, don't break it. Hey, what's that adage? If you broke it, you bought it. And, hi, Jenny. Nice to see you drop by. This does not want to cooperate. We have one string out. Back in place. Just to give you an idea, look at how old these strings are. There's silver, and then darkness, 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 darkness. Get to near the end pin, and it's silver. So, yeah, these strings have never came off this guitar. Put that down there for now. So it's no doubt when I played this the other night, it's no doubt that my fingertips were all a mess, because that's a lot of rust and whatever build up on the and again. I'm sure there's going to be some of my super fans out there watching this and commenting about how I'm an idiot doing it like this. It's like, I really don't care. It's not my problem that you have an obsession with what I'm doing. But there's another good reason to use needle nose. Actually does do well. Another one. Again, silver. Dark, 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 corrode, 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 corrode. Corrode, corrode, corroded, and from this point up, you can see silver. 2 down, 4 to go. So hopefully everyone out there has been doing well, and hopefully everybody enjoyed my little videos I put up. As I said, I was overdue to do one of those videos. Well, this is interesting. Checking out these strings as they're coming out, and I don't ever... Oh yeah, that's right. I don't ever remember acoustic strings coming with colored tips. This one you can't see the tarnishing on it as badly, but it's there. Yes, to the few people I know that are into NASCAR, like Ben and others. Ow. I have heard that, yes, that it's been rather disappointing to not be able to watch NASCAR And you would actually figure that NASCAR would be one of those sports that actually would have a decent actual following, that there'd be enough to be social separation. So it's very strange that it wouldn't they wouldn't be able to do that. This last string does not want to come out very nicely. One and this last one's being a real pain in the derriere to come out for some reason. So there we go. Bridge pins all back in place. And that's stuck in place. So, the last remaining strings. How bad were these strings? I tried to show people. Hey, Martin Grabner Mayer. Hope you're doing well as well, too. And thanks for stopping by. How badly were the strings on this acoustic that I got in a trade? I don't know if I can oh, actually, if I turn it really, really faintly, you can actually see the dark grooves right there. That's how bad these strings were. They're like grooved all over the place. And you can actually see, even in the light, the difference between here at the tip and down here. You can actually see the difference. But yeah, this one here, all grooved. Hey, Paul, welcome. Welcome from Ireland. Oh, cool. It's weird. The statistic thing is really screwed up. It shows that there's only one concurrent viewers. Meanwhile, I see 3 using the chat. So maybe YouTube, maybe I broke YouTube with all the uploads I've been doing. So again, rappy the old strings. Now, I'm normally right-handed, but I am a bit ambidextrous. So I am doing this actually as a lefty would do it. And ooh, you can actually, hey Pete, hope you're well. Cool that you're lurking. Thank you very much for the view. What gauge strings am I fitting there? As I explained before you showed up, Paul, my local music store opened back up Tuesday, and I actually was his first customer, so it was kind of cool. I've known the guy ever since I was a young kid. Well, pretty much like since I was like 16. Like I said, he had big fluffy hair, almost like Noel Redding and that back in the day. Now he's got hardly any hair. And he's only like a year or two older than me. But anyways, so I was first customer in, and I just happened to be lucky enough. These are the strings that actually are currently on the Harley Benton Delta Blues mini jumbo. They're the Ernie Ball Earthwood extra lights, and they are 10 through 50 that will be going on at some point in time. For now, the taking a closer look at the frets, the person that traded the guitar to me did indicate that the guitar has pretty much sat in its case for most of its existence because the guy's girlfriend is a bass player. So, looking at the frets, as you can kind of see, they are definitely tarnished to all hell. So, they definitely need to be given some TLC. So, we'll take those out of the way because we don't need those at the moment. So yeah, like I said, considering I figured, well, I've already uploaded 3 videos or so in like the last 5 hours, I might as well just do a live stream of this since I'm going to be doing it. I don't exactly need the X-Acto knife. Since this is a tape, you should see my hair. I reverted back to 1977. The wife reckons it's a pity the body wouldn't revert back to 1977 as well. That's a good one. Like I said, I was actually shocked because when the guy seen me, he was actually in awe of how good looking the shape that I'm in compared to how I've been the previous times. Every time I've seen him, he's been in awe at like the weight loss I've been doing. So it's always encouraging to hear somebody let you know that they're seeing a difference in your body shape and your looks when you're losing weight, because it helps to verify it and give you more confidence, of course. So I was grateful for the compliment, and I get compliments on how I don't look my age either, so that's a nice thing too, to be complimented that you don't look your age. And sometimes when I tell those people what my actual age is, they look very, very shocked and in awe that that's what my actual age is. And it's like, just take care of yourself. Probably the biggest thing I can probably tell people in regards to how to keep yourself looking young: don't go out in the sun a bunch. Well, sun is good for giving you vitamin D, too much of it ages you, just like smoking. So, I mean, the more you can kind of not do it, the better it is for you. You know, getting to the point here where it really isn't going to matter much in the putting down is a big amount. And here is where I will actually stop and simply reuse the other pieces of tape. No, Paul, honestly, if I go by the picture in your profile here on Google and YouTube, if that's actually like your most current picture, no, I'd say you still look like you're actually, if anything, early 40s, never mind 59. So yeah, definitely keep that up. So yeah, again, as I was saying, I also figured to do this stream not because also I've thrown up a whole bunch of videos in that lately, or in the last like 5 6 hours, but I know there's a lot of you over in the earlier part of the world that don't get to see very much YouTube, so I figured, hey, I might as well do a stream, you know, give some people to a chance to actually view some stuff and whatnot. Just checking on my Gmail Plus notifications. Oh. So, So here's another thing too. I keep saying this to people, and people don't realize it. That, you know, people go on about the one time how I had gloves on, and it's like people don't realize all this stuff has chemicals in it that are harmful to your body, and when they come into your body, they can cause you health issues. So I mean, yeah, I should be wearing gloves for to do this, but I'm not going to this time around. Yeah, getting old sometimes isn't a bad thing. Like I said in my videos, knowledge is power. Just imagine how much of a different life we'd live if we had all this knowledge that we'd accumulated over the years in our youth, and just think of how many mistakes we wouldn't make. Like I said, I wouldn't be left with a flap of skin here if I would have known differently when I was in my 20s and not realize about being with somebody and they liked me back when I was chubbier, and then meanwhile I had all the girls younger and older than around my age actually like drooling over me, around me, and me totally being blind to it all. It was like, ugh. The mistakes of our youth. Some people are lucky enough to not repeat them. Some people are doomed to repeat them over and over and over again until the day they die. Never good. Hey, Brian from Oregon. Getting old wouldn't be bad if I could still eat like I did when. Isn't that the truth? I keep saying that too about, how I definitely noticed since I'd say since I hit about 44, how much of a food intake difference there is. And it's like stuff that I used to be able to eat a large amount of is nowhere close to what little I'm able to eat nowadays. And it's just like, ugh. It's sickening the amount of food you consume as a youth, but in your later years, you eat so little. Like, I remember an older gentleman I used to play combat arms with. He was 55, and he was saying about he was talking about the what he had for dinner, steak, and he was talking about the amount of steak, and I was just like, "That's it? That's all you could eat for steak?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Anything more than that, I'm like filling." I'm like, "Oh, geez." Well, I've put too much of this polish in these areas, but that's fine. I will be able to in turn use it all anyways. Use it further down the fretboard. And right away, I can definitely see some of these aged spots coming out of the frets. You can actually see on the thing as well too, the crap coming off. I should be using a neck holder, but again, I don't have one around per se. So I'm just going to rest my arm on the guitar body for the time being. That is so weird how the YouTube Studio app is only showing me with one viewer. Meanwhile, there's like 3 or 4 years in the chat. Well, I will say this much. These are definitely tarnished big time. Because just the amount that I'm doing here, and I can actually already see them going back to you can even see on the tip of the J cloth like rag here too. It's turning gray. That's awesome, Paul. Man, I cannot get over how dirty these are. These frets are going from tarnished to actually silver. Paul, I'm not sure if they have that here in Canada. The name does sound familiar though. So I can't say I have offhand, but I know they have lots of things like this. This stuff though actually is found can be found in grocery stores and hardware stores. This stuff. I think I actually got this at a grocery store. Cleans and polishes. Clean and shines brass, copper, stainless steel, chrome, aluminum, pewter, and bronze. Ooh. That's interesting, Pete. Autosol. Like I said, there's all kinds of these polishing abrasives. How much of a difference has it done so far? There's the brassoed frets. And there's the other frets. I'd say a hell of a lot of difference. Oh, wow. 5 of those Fusion Pros, Paul? That's crazy. I didn't know you had that many of them. But also at the same time, they are a very lovely looking instrument. So that doesn't surprise me. That would be a crazy price, Martin, if that's true. I mean, what's the condition of it? Another thing I could do here too is I could throw 2000 or 3000 grit over this too and clean up the frets that way, but I figured it probably wouldn't hurt it to use a liquid solution like this to help probably also clean and sanitize the fret more. Yeah, if it's that worn out looking, then yeah, it's probably about the right price. Hey, Sean Zimmerman. Sorry I missed you in the chat. Hope you're well. Let's see now here. Uh, well, I don't necessarily offload per se. It's more like an evolution sort of thing. Like right now, with getting rid of my SGJ, I got a higher tier acoustic. Now I don't need to go looking for an acoustic. And now the only thing that I'm missing is a P90 guitar. And like I said, I'll have everything that I need for any desire. Mind you, though, with how cheap the Harley Benton stuff is, yeah, it's like it's very easy to get into. Like, oh, I'll take one of these and one of each color, and one of these and one of each style, and so forth and so forth. Garbage. anytime you're talking about something like that where the original stuff was possibly removed, that's it's not exactly great. Ah. Well, there's one thing for sure, at least a woman can't say you're cheating on her if you've got a bunch of instruments. my my one buddy 4 or 5 blocks away said that about his wife. He said, "Well, she doesn't complain about it because she knows like that he's still around and that." Three Strats. A Gibson Flying V and a Les Paul Standard. Nice. I got to admit, my thing, if I actually had to pick a guitar platform of what I would probably go nuts getting a whole bunch of, it would probably be Strats. For some reason, I just have always been fixated with Strats. I'm sure if I probably would have bought a Gibson Les Paul in '85, I might have been a Gibson Les Paul fanatic. As I said, my story back in the day goes, it was either a previously owned made in Japan 68 reissue Stratocaster for $700 and some dollars, or at $1,100, brand spanking new, which would have been 1985, Les Paul Standard and a Cherry Burst. And it was like, I simply I only had about 900, so I couldn't come up with the rest of the money. And I just couldn't do it. So I took the Strat, and that's been the story since. And I don't think it was the worst decision I ever made, other than the fact that I'm not sure how much an '85 LP Standard and Cherry Burst would go for on the used market, but I do know my 68 reissue Strat, if I actually had kept it in good shape and still had it around, would be around I think it's 3,800 US. So it's like yeah, that's very true, Sean. Mind you, in places like the Craigslists and the Kijijis, you don't very often find very good deals on instruments that you want. Same thing as when I pulled off the deal for the Greco. I didn't think that I would actually. I liked the guitar when I first had it and was trying it out, but I didn't think I'd ever see it again. I figured it would go off to somebody else again. Then when the guy said, well, I'd entertain cash in an instrument and your one amp for it, it was like, yeah, that made a big time difference. And now it sits there. Three more to go. I'll tell you right now, wait until you see the tip of this rag. Maybe use a little bit more compound. Excellent point. Excellent point, Paul. You know, that really is true. Again, goes back to like those videos that I put up earlier talking about being a consumer of stuff. You definitely gonna get more value out of a guitar than you are a shoes or handbags, unless it's like Louis Vuitton or some crap like that. Then you're gonna get like, then maybe you'll get like a lot of value out of that and be able to sell it. But otherwise, yeah. Clothing is one of those things that you're just not gonna make much money back on. All right. Have a good night, Pete. Thanks for stopping by. Take care and sleep well. Yeah. Like I said, that's why I figured I'd come on for a live stream and allow all you folks in the earlier part of the day in Europe and that to have an opportunity to come on and chit chat with each other and whatnot. Because I know you don't get to do that a lot. Alrighty. So how badly tarnished were the frets on this guitar? You may ask. I mean, you already did see the strings. And they were pretty grody. Grody. So, first off, let's see my rubbing work. Nice and shiny and new looking. So again, like I said, how tarnished and dirty were the frets? Yeah, that would work. The mothers. But yeah, yeesh. No doubt I should have felt a little grody after, like, when I played it. And then just think on top of that, that was actually kind of on the strings as well, too. So, that's done. Let me reattempt to get these pins out. Yep, that sounds right. Probably not, Paul. The luxuries of international commerce and products. That reminds me, Paul, since you said you were from Ireland, I believe, or whatever. Have you ever watched the Try Channel's Irish People Try? Oh, God, that show makes me laugh so much. Dunlop 65 Platinum. Oop, a little too much. Give it a waxing on the top, just to clean it up a bit as well too. What have you never seen before, Paul? The Mother's aluminum and mag polish? Or something else? Since I am up around here, those are nice and tight. Oh, that one's a little loose. All right, in a few minutes. Oh, the Try channel and Irish People Try. I don't know if I have it saved off anywhere. But, yeah, just to put into the YouTube search bar, Irish People Try. And it is some of the most hilarious things that they do. Like, Irish People Try, American chips. Irish People Try, American beer. Irish People Try, American chocolate. And so forth and so forth. So it's interesting to, like, see that. This stuff almost looks like orange pulp. Give this a good... You can already see the fretboard desperately soaking it up. You can see the scraping coming out of it. Give that a good long soak. Well, actually English, but have lived here for 30 years anyways. Have to go shopping with the wife, so... Okay, you be safe and well as well, Paul. Have a great time shopping with the missus. Hope yous are both well. And we are now down to... Now we're down to actually maybe one viewer. Thanks, Martin, for still lurking and giving me the extra watch time hours. That's amazing, and thank you very much for that. Again, I hope everyone has actually been enjoying the videos I posted, and everybody's been doing well. Now to wait 20 minutes. So, anyone else have anything interesting or planned to do when the COVID thing expires? The US-Canada border is actually going to be locked down until, I believe it's June 21st. And in regards to hockey, they actually plan to resume the NHL season around June, possibly, and hopefully have it finish out by August, and then start the next NHL season in around November, I believe. Anyone that's left in the chat, or is there anyone antsy in wanting to buy something when their money's freed up? Mr. Coombs has posted up on Instagram the Stingray. Stingray Fuzz. Oh, nice, Martin. I'd probably like to be in on some of that LPD pedal stuff, but you know what? Honestly, I think Ben would steal them all from me. Just kidding. Oh, no way. Wow. Someone offered a really rough 73, 1500. Ooh. Yeah, I think you definitely got pushed out on that one. Big time. No coming back from that one, my friend. Quite honestly, the market for like the older guitars on that, I mean, unless it has to be like I said, Gibson on the headstock, there's a lot of competing brands, old and new. It kind of reminds me of the story of my friend that's like 6 blocks away. His brother-in-law had a Tone King amp, and he was kind of hemming and hawing about selling it, and he was like, well, I don't know if I want to sell it. I like the way it sounds and feels and blah blah blah. And my friend was like, I guess I'll test his greed factor. And so he had originally offered him 2200 for it, and he didn't have much interest in it. So he turned around, he offered him almost $3,000 for the amp. Well, that really got the guy's gears going, and he's like, well. So in the end, though, he ended up getting the amp off his brother-in-law for 2,500, and the exception that if he ever does go to sell the amp, he gets first dibs at buying it back. But it's going to be crazy, the amps he has, because he has one of those Marshall Origin 20s, and then he also has one of those Hughes and Kettner Tubemeister 36s. So for someone who plays guitar far worse than I do, he actually has quite the high end collection of amps, even though he doesn't have the skill level to play stuff on them. And then here he is now, he's actually gonna have this Tone King amp, and it's just like, jeez. But at the same time, he actually got rid of a 2017 Les Paul Standard. So he actually got almost the whole money that ended up paying for that amp. So I guess it's a trade off in that sense. I'm not sure if too many people would do that kind of thing as well too. Maybe get rid of an instrument they like so they could get an amp they would possibly like. I think a lot of people should do the Steve from Boston rule. I ain't buying it unless it's under 300. I love that strategy from Steve. It's a good one. I mean, even though he did break that rule to get that 68 strat, or what was it, 60 or 63? But that was like a crazy deal. So just looking at the places, it's been about 14 minutes now, and looking at the places where I put the wax and feed stuff, it's definitely soaked down into the wood more. I should wait 20 minutes, but I think I'm actually going to take it off now. So that's the waxing stuff. Put that a little bit there more. Clean off the neck, sides a bit here. Sir. Wax and feed stuff. Let's just go over these few areas where it looks like I didn't get it. Good enough. It's interesting because I didn't. Sean, oh god, I don't need one of those streams. I'll get demonetized. Oh, that's right, I'm not monetized. I better not feed certain individuals by doing that. Speaking of which, in my earlier videos talking about drama spear individuals, apparently a fellow Canadian who has an involvement with the drama spear apparently enjoyed the company of someone of the female persuasion who was someone fellow person in the drama spear, and apparently had some footage taken of themselves that recently got revealed, and it was like, oh, interesting. So there's a certain person from a certain province in the West who actually now, for his unfortunate reason, has a video of him spanking the monkey and whatnot. So it was definitely an interesting thing to see. I'm just glad that videos like that don't happen in the YouTube guitar community, because that would definitely make it interesting. So in regards to the feed and wax stuff, you can't see it necessarily because of how bright the camera is, or the light here, but you can actually see the dirt. There was dirt that came off of the rosewood bracing back here and the fingerboard. So that's kind of Interesting. So, we will go back to our handy jade cloth material, and we will remove our wax and feed, give it a polish up. As it says to do. Polish and remove the product. So we are now done that. And now onto the neck. Looking at the frets, there's little to no fret wear on this, so other than around the, as they say, the cowboy cord area. So there's that. Polished off. Fret's given a little bit more polishing. This is great cloth material, but again, this fine fibery stuff that's came off isn't too good, catching on some of the metal edges. So now to remove the wax stuff with the white cloth. Nice and shiny. Back of the neck. Do it to the fretboard a little bit. And lastly, the guitar body itself. And picked up a fair amount of wax and dirt. A little J1. So last there. Cleaned headstock, cleaned fretboard, oiled frets polished. Bridge brace, rosewood. Done. Everything done. Last thing left to do. Throw the strings on. Well, nothing wrong with a dirty guitar, other than it being the wrong color when it's dirty. Like black. Black isn't so bad unless you got some type of white crud going on. Then it'll show up bad. That's kind of the good thing about natural, is unless it's dark, you won't notice it a whole heck of a lot. Fresh wood paper smell. So yeah, again, I'm a Ernie Ball fanatic in regards to strings, and I will say the acoustic strings, I was hesitant at first. I actually tried the cheap Martin strings, and they were actually not bad. I was pleasantly surprised at how nice they were, and for an under $10 pack string of acoustics. So, and I took the chance to spend the extra few dollars and get the Earthwoods, and I've pretty much been using them since. Again, the only other string brand I use is again on the, usually on the Fender style instruments, is usually, well, more so the Fender Strat, and if I was to ever have an MIM Tele, I'd probably use like the Silver Bullets, but primarily the Silver Bullet strings on the from the as my mind draws a blank, the Ernie Ball, or sorry, the Fender Silver Bullets, mainly because the way the string was designed, it was actually designed to, the bullets in the end were designed to actually fit perfectly in the Stratocaster trims, as well as in the Telecaster back hole inlets. So, nice fresh new strings she gets. And right away you can see the difference in the string. So that was a 50. Eddie Van Haskell. No hockey buzz hasn't started yet, and yes, I'm pulling a Mike Agello and wearing gray. You'd have to be a fan of the Hockey Buzz website, hosted by Eklund, to get those references. I'm sure Eddie gets them. Oh. Yeah. You might like them, you might hate them. It really is a subjective thing. Myself, I've had Didarios, never liked them. The elixirs, my friend has given me a set of elixir, I think nano webs. I still got to put them on a guitar yet. But the one, I had gotten a guitar in a trade that had elixirs on it, nano web or something like that, and I hated it because I couldn't grip on the strings because of the plastic coating on them. Hi Sandra, bye Sandra. Thanks for stopping by. It's understandable. I don't know how much more longer I'm going to stream as it is. Probably once I get the strings on this and tuned up, and then probably end it. I've probably irritated enough people with notifications. All right, Martin, thanks for dropping by, giving me some view time and chit-chatting. Take care. Yeah, exactly. Little J1, the nano webs, yeah, they're really slimy. So if you try to do like a bend and release, it just like slips off your like finger, and it kind of ruins your ability to do so. It'd be great if you did like a bunch of sliding note things and slide type of riffs, and those would be awesome strings. But when you want to do bends in that and bend and release, it's hard because that's when you want to have the grip. Eddie, I enjoyed your card break videos. Thank you very much, Eddie. Believe it or not, I had actually somebody bitch at me because here I am in the COVID epidemic, and I'm spending money on card breaks stuff. It's like, who the F's business is it of yours? It's my money. And I'm putting out content for people to enjoy. So it's like, bugger off. You don't like it? Lump it. Other people like it and enjoy it. So, like, you're one voice of, say, like, what is it now? You're one voice compared to probably like 20, 30 other people out there that watched it and so forth. Like, they don't give a damn what you think. It's not like I'm taking food away from people's mouths. Maybe that would be different. Like, oh my god, you just ate a 5-pound steak. How could you when there's people out there that need to eat? Like, again, troll mentality at its finest. So yeah, definitely the strings on this guitar were definitely old and really, really coated and crusty. So it's no doubt that I felt really, really crappy when I tried to demo the guitar with how crappy the strings were. Good push down. And now to our last string, which is the really odd one, 10. Like I said, I never thought I would actually like a light gauge, a light set like this on an acoustic, but I really do like it compared to like the heavier sets. I probably could get away with maybe an 11, but 12s like on that Jaguar I had felt really, really were not really good on my fingers. Not to mention when you are trying to do bends in that, it doesn't help. And you know, I really like doing again, even though I'm not a professional guitar player, I do like doing bends on an acoustic. Yeah, strings are again a very, very, very subjective thing because the biggest thing is, you know, what is actually on your hands and your fingertips. Like in this case, I've got a lot of that wax rubbing compound stuff on my fingertips, and you can hear. Like, just imagine that's on your strings and how much it can corrode your strings or prevent your ability to play. So, that's why there's a lot of people that still love uncoated strings compared to the nano webs. But I mean, the big advantage to the nano webs is again the longevity of it, and if all you're doing is playing chords, then yeah, nano webs are probably like the elixirs are probably great strings if that's all you do is play chords. But as soon as you try to play anything else, like a finger picking style of playing or whatnot, then you probably are going to get into, you know, bad territory in regards to that. Okay. Now to properly space these out and tune. And tune or detune. Again, thank you very much to those that have joined the chat in the past and currently now. For some reason, the studio thing only shows me that I have one concurrent viewer and no likes. So I'm not too concerned about that. The reality is I'm just doing this mostly for you folks in general. You know, just for a change to have me do some hosting and being around and talk and whatnot compared to most of the other regular usual folks. So okay, thank you very much for letting me know that, Little J. 7 viewers and 7 likes. Well, I would venture to guess as well too. High stalkers. I wouldn't be surprised if I have some viewers from my super fan club watching and going, "Oh, look at how he's doing this. This is the wrong way." And, "Oh, why the heck is he doing that? Why didn't he do this?" But on a more positive note, and whatnot. That's their life. So what do I do in regards to the string through trees like this that don't have a lock? I use the one commonly known technique, which is you give yourself enough slack in what you want for string. You bend that way and that way. Then that way, when you... am I out of shot? No, not out of shot. That way, when you wind, the bottom bend locks it into place. And as that goes flipping up, and there we go. String number 2. Lock down, lock forward. Give it enough space to allow you to back off to tune properly. String 2. String 3. Bend forward, bend back. You could play Freebird on acoustic. Just wouldn't have the same sound. Yeah, little J, there's varying techniques to actually put the strings into place. And yes, the same technique does work on a high E, though I do like to actually give it the one wrap or half wrap and then pull it back through again on the high E. On the B, I can do it on the B too, but usually 9 times out of 10 it's not necessary. So again, pull forward, pull back. Locking into place. Tensioning up. Again, B string. Back. Lock forward. Probably could have gave this a little bit more pullback. So I got a little bit too much going on here, I think. Make sure to pull that out of the way. Doing. String's still pulling out of the tuning peg. Or not tuning peg, the saddle peg. And again, last string. Yeah. Yeah, Michael B. I actually reposted that over my Facebook. To me, it'll be shocking to hear all these people are passing away, but the reality is a lot of these people are 70 plussers, so their life is very much at a end per se. Unfortunately to say that's the case, but it is. A lot of actors that we enjoyed in our youth are people that actually did enjoy them in their youth. This is where one of those electric string winder things would be really nice. And as more comes out, yes, and that's actually it too. Is there's a lot of them. that are in that age. Wow, talk about alternate tunings. Plug it into a Marshall stack when you get the strings on. My problem when I do string change is my hand gets really sweaty and I can't grip the higher strings. A solution for that, little J1, invest in a set of, if you can wear latex gloves would help to keep holding on. That's the perfect tuning for Lady of Spain song. Crazy. Okay. I can already hear a difference in the strings. Brow. Wrong string. I think that's probably one of the worst things with acoustic guitars is the stretching them out. Yeah, some of us are that old. Yeah, that's it too, Michael B. Some of us are just simply that old. Yeah, of course, wrong way. In a perfect world, tuners would all tune the same way, to tighten and loosen. Man, what a difference this guitar sounds. So, again, great thing on the needles and nose pliers, you can pull that looped around high E, you can pull it nice and tight, and hopefully now we can now snip. Apparently I have a piece of wire from when I rewired my Ibanez apparently stuck in here or something. So again, careful to make sure we're not nipping off the actual string. This one could be wrapped around a little bit better. bunch of clean strings. Clean new strings. The previous strings. Clean. New, old. New, old. Can you tell the difference? Oh. Now to step away for a few seconds here. Put that back in place. Dragonheart pick. Let's pull it down a bit better there. So, new strings on. Snark for the snarky tuner folks out there. They're snarky about tune your guitar. I play out of tune and I sing out of tune. La-dee-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-dee-da, da. There we go, folks. I'll be playing every Tuesday at Ben Coombs Beaver Lodge. Put your Gene Simmons boots. Put your Gene Simmons boots before you tune up. Now I'm using the Snark tuner, but the Fishman does have the onboard tuner thing as well too. It's already almost a tune. always hate this about tuning guitar strings, in case it snaps and then it comes back and it whips you. I must confess that's also why I like going a half into E flat or flat tuning, because there's also less chance of that higher tension to whip you as well too. Those little pops that happen while tuning can be fixed with some lip balm. Yep. That's what I usually do. I use the lip balm. Do lip balm. Pencil shaving end, like of the lead. Nice try, Jason Oak. Or person claiming to be Jason Oak. Oops. Anyways, so that said, it is 12:30. The guitar is now all polished, cleaned, fretboard cleaned and oiled, frets are polished, and a new set of Ernie Ball Earthwound extra lights are now on it, and I can honestly say there is a world of difference, and those strings were definitely dead. Losing a little bit of bass projection by going with the extra light strings, but guitar sounds and definitely feels a hell of a lot better. Might have to clean up the back of the neck. I can feel some of the tape being sticky. Beyond that, I think I'm done for my videos and streaming. Thank you very much to those of you out there that were possibly around for the full 2 hours and 13 minutes watching me clean and restring the Fender CD60 CE Natural. The guitar definitely feels a lot, I shouldn't say a lot better, it feels a hell of a lot better, plays a hell of a lot better, and sounds a hell of a lot better. You can actually see this nice rosewood that they used on this fretboard. Nice scraped rosewood. Thanks a lot, Eddie, for stopping by. Might see you on Hockey Buzz if they're actually doing something today. That said, everybody take care. I hope you've enjoyed my content that I've put up the majority of today. Friend, fan, or hater / troll. Again, be positive. Do positive things in life. You know, show people they're wrong. Do stuff that they say that you can't do. Simple as that. That said, I am not the captain, and I am out of here.